Every morning at exactly 5:30 a.m., the alarm on Daniel's old phone buzzed to life. The screen was cracked, the sound tinny, but it had become the starting bell of something transformative. A year ago, no one, including Daniel himself, would have believed he'd ever become a morning person. But there he was, every single day, waking up before the sun. Daniel was 32, and life hadn't exactly turned out the way he'd hoped. His job as a junior clerk at a logistics company was uninspiring. His bank account hovered in the double digits, and his dreams of becoming a writer had long ago been folded up and tucked away beneath bills and grown-up responsibilities. He lived alone in a modest studio apartment on the edge of the city, and most nights were spent scrolling through social media or binge-watching whatever show helped him forget how little had changed in his life. The shift started not with a lightning bolt, but with a whisper, a quiet suggestion from an old podcast episode he stumbled upon while doing dishes one night. The guest, a successful entrepreneur, wasn't preaching hustle culture or 12-hour workdays. He simply said, "Build one habit. Just one. Stack small wins. That's where momentum lives." For some reason, it stuck. Maybe because it was simple. Maybe because Daniel was tired of waiting for the perfect moment. He decided to test the theory with one habit: waking up at 5:30 a.m. every day. That was it. He didn't set a grand goal. He didn't promise to change his entire life. He just wanted to see if he could show up consistently for something, even something as small as waking up early. The first few mornings were brutal. The snooze button called to him like a siren. But he resisted. Some mornings, he did nothing more than sit on the edge of his bed in silence, wondering what he was doing. But slowly, the quiet hours began to offer something he hadn't felt in a long time: space. The world wasn't shouting yet. His phone wasn't pinging. The city hadn't yet stirred. It was just him and possibility. After 2 weeks, he added journaling to the mix. 5 minutes. No pressure. Just thoughts, reflections, sometimes even just random lines. It wasn't art, but it was honest. And somewhere in those messy pages, his writer's voice began to hum again, faint but steady. Then came reading. 15 minutes with a book instead of his phone. He started with memoirs, then drifted to essays, eventually circling back to fiction. It reminded him why he'd once dared to dream in the first place. The characters felt like old friends pulling him forward. By the 3rd month, he was writing short stories. Not for publication. Not for praise. Just for himself. He'd sit at his kitchen table before sunrise, fingers cold on the keys, coffee brewing beside him, and write. Some days, it was just a paragraph. Others, 3 pages. But he didn't miss a day. Something subtle but powerful started happening. He stood taller. He felt lighter. The job didn't change, but his attitude toward it did. He found moments of clarity between the chaos, even joy in the rhythm. He no longer resented his co-workers. He started packing lunch, saving a few dollars at a time. Small things, but they added up. His friends noticed first. "You seem different," they'd say. Not in the grand movie montage kind of way, but in the grounded confidence that only comes from showing up for yourself consistently. 6 months in, Daniel submitted a short story to a local magazine on a dare from a coworker. He didn't expect much. But a month later, he got an email: "We loved your piece. It's going in the summer issue." He stared at the screen for nearly 10 minutes, tears filling his eyes. Not because it was a big publication, but because it was a beginning. A real one. By the end of the year, Daniel's 5:30 habit had bloomed into a morning routine that anchored him. Journaling, reading, writing, even a short walk through his neighborhood. He wasn't rich or famous, but he was aligned. He was living with intention. And one day, as he looked back through his first journal, filled with doubts and questions and half-sentences, he realized just how far he had come. All because of one choice. One small step that, when repeated day after day, became a foundation. Daniel didn't wait for a new year or a crisis to change his life. He didn't overhaul everything at once. He just picked one habit and stuck with it. And from that small seed, everything grew. He often tells people now, when they ask how he turned things around, start with one thing. One small step. It doesn't seem like much, but it might just change everything. Because for Daniel, it did.